Okay, so we're going to taste some wine here at Culinary, beautiful Italian winery.
The Insieme, the red blend.
Red blend. So what is this? Cabernet Franc?
This is actually 36% Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, 14% of each Merlot and Syrah. 100% dry grapes in the greenhouse.
Okay.
So good concentration, lots of flavor.
Okay. So this be a medium body wine for you guys?
This would be a medium to medium plus.
Yeah. What's your biggest wine?
Our biggest is the Almarosa, the Cabernet Sauvignon.
And that's 100% Amarone or
Passamento, you got it. Yeah. This one's also 100% Passamento as well, just not dried as well.
So for all the viewers that don't know what that means they dry the grapes?
Yeah.
Like you do in Italy, and then they re-add them to the fermentation process?
Yeah, so we're drying them in the greenhouse. Inside the greenhouse, lots of fans and dehumidifiers, so you got a lot more control and concentration. So it builds the body, lowers the acidity, but gives you a lot more concentration and flavor.
Creekside, we're definitely going to try Creekside. They make a really, really nice Syrah. That's the winemaker right there, I believe, Rob Power. Sorry to interrupt, we're going to try your wine here.
Oh, sure. 2012. Yeah, last year we were pouring 2011.
It's the big bombish of the wine, right?
That's what's in your glass.
It's got some fair share of elegance as well.
Cool labels. Yeah, it's got a earthiness. Not just all fruit in there. Yeah, nice. And you make it the same way? Viognier are in there? Or
Yeah, it's about 4% Viognier as a co-ferment in there.
Yeah.
It's 12, you should never believe the marketers that say, every vintage is the vintage of the century to the salesman, right? But 2012 actually was one of the ripest years we've ever had.
Right, yeah. All around. Dry.
You're probably getting that in the glass, right?
Yeah, that's a nice wine. I love these Syrahs. Kind of a specialty in Niagara.
It is.
Maybe more people are doing it, but not many.
Casaba's pouring one tonight. They have a 12 Syrah too. Okay. Yeah, those of us that do it believe very deeply in the variety. Right? But it's always going to be really site specific in Niagara. It's not for everywhere.
So it doesn't die in the winter.
Yeah, but that's what everybody's starting to figure out. What happens on the Beanfield bench is very different from what happens on the St. David's bench.
Right. And this is St. David's bench?
This is St. David's bench, 100% Queenston Road vineyard.
So how would you sum this nose up? I don't know how to do it to...
Well, you're always going to get some black pepper on Syrah. There's a lot of red and black fruit in there. There's probably a little meaty, gamey undertone, and that's the variety
little
too.
Bit? Yeah. This is almost like it's got like a nice perfume. It's almost sometimes a nice smell.
Okay, if you're getting a perfume, now that's the 4% Viognier speaking to you.
Yeah, I mean, it gives it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Viognier, when we do a co-ferment, it gives this uplifted floral element. Yeah. Now, it tends to lie down over time, but this is still a young wine, right?
I'm sure you smelt it. I mean, but you can't stop smelling this wine, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Well, that's one of the things we love about it, is it makes a really complex, layered glass of wine.
It's got a great nose. Like Beaujolais has sometimes those pretty rose petals and violets and stuff like that. This is kind of funky like that. It's nice. Beautiful nose. I'd rather even smell it than drink it. It's amazing. That's a very nice wine. So that was Creekside, Mr. Rob Power, one of the best winemakers, obviously. Crafting awesome, super delicious Syrah. Honestly, Syrah is a specialty grape in Niagara. It's hard to grow. Sometimes it dies in our harsh winters. So the winemakers and growers that can sculpt it into these beautiful wines, kudos. Great wines. So let's go. Let's see what else we got here. Some Pinot competition here. So this is Bachelder's affiliation label. Qualius or something? We're going to try it out. Pinot Noir. How do you pronounce the name of your winery?
It's Domaine Caylus.
Domaine Caylus. What did I call it? A Qualius?
We get Quellis.
Quellis. There we go. I'm like a drink.
It's Caylus. Owned by 12 private partners out of Quebec.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, we are a French winery. We're just up top of the escarpment in Niagara.
A Bachelder affiliation?
Yeah, he's the head winemaker.
There you go.
Thomas Bachelder. Yeah, he's here. He's just walking around.
Somewhere? He'll run from the camera.
No, he'll Red. No, he's here though, yeah. So he's our head winemaker. We're pretty much Pinot and Chardonnay.
I don't want to open this up, but you could probably tell us a little bit about this wine. So,
yeah, this is from 2013, and we make 3 different Pinots. We do a tradition, a reserve, and a Grand Reserve. So you're tasting our reserve right now, and it's basically just a parcel selection. We farm everything organically, and we also vinify everything based on the parcels in the vineyards.
Which is very easy. It's just super simple, just like the commercial stuff.
Easy at all. No, and we do indigenous fermentations as well. So there's another added level of complexity. So it's a lot of fun.
So how long does that take? So just for viewers that don't understand the difference, it's cultured yeast, so you add to ferment?
Right. So it's kind of like, suppose you're like baking bread at home, you can just pitch in your yeast, right, and your bread will rise.
Okay.
With grapes, you can just pitch your yeast into the tank as well, and you're guaranteed pretty much a fermentation.
Okay.
When you do something indigenous, basically it's the native yeast culture that's on the grapes. So you have to just wait for that to naturally take off. So there's a lot more steps, and you have to follow it really closely for about 15 days.
So 15 days of
the fermentation. So you're just watching to make sure the right strain of yeast takes off and starts your fermentation.
Okay, and I know there's several different yeasts competing. So how long does it take for an actual wine to finish?
15 days to finish the primary fermentation, but the first 3 or 4 days, you don't have the dominant strain taking over yet. So you're tasting it to make sure you have kind of like these wild yeast starting up.
You taste wine as it's fermenting? It's kind of weird, right?
3 times a day.
So is that disgusting or is that good?
For you, it's really disgusting. We're used to it, but you can't get the general public ever. I've tried and they hate it.
Okay, so like, why do you go through so much trouble to do all these? Like, what? Like, to explain to people.
It does a completely different job on the wine when you use native yeast versus just pitching it in. When you pitch it in, you have a lot of control. You're actually isolating certain characteristics that you want to see repeated and consistent. When you do it native, you're completely letting Mother Nature sort of take over. And if you take the same sample of wine and do it indigenously and then do it with a cultured yeast and you taste them side by side, the complexity in the indigenous will blow your mind. It's amazing. It is such a difference.
So much better.
It's just that not a lot of people do take the time to do those kind of trials.
Like, people walk into a wine store and they see your wine, they see the price, and they see another wine that's $19.99. They don't understand what really goes into it, right? So your wine is almost specialty because by doing it indigenous yeast, you can't really commercially reproduce this same taste. It's specific to this wine, right?
Like, we can't be consistent every vintage. We have to let
would be different.
Every vintage is going to be different, sort of, for us. We just try to keep our style the same.
Right.
Yeah. So there's organic farming. You're passing through the vineyard way more than you are if you're doing conventional farming. That's much more expensive. You manually harvest everything. That's more expensive.
Which is totally fun. They do it drunk, so it doesn't.
Yeah, and then we sort everything. We hand sort everything, so that adds another cost as well.
Okay, so hand sorting. So that, and why are you doing that? Just
because we only want the best quality grapes going in, because you're doing an indigenous fermentation. So you have to have the cleanest grapes going into the tank.
So people that don't hand sort,
you can just throw it in and clean it up, sort of.
So you're fermenting bad grapes, good grapes, everything. So that's a difference again from, what would you call it? I mean, what are these premium wines? Is that what you call them?
Yes, yeah, definitely handcrafted and premium wines.
Handcrafted.
A lot of love went into it.
There you go.
A lot of sweat and tears too.
So that is the difference. Handcrafted wines, a ton of work goes into them compared to the commercially accessible wines that all taste the same, probably because you're using the same yeast strains, right? And they're not. So thank you very much.
And Thomas is there.
Okay, well, thank you. Amazing Pinot Noir, really premium stuff here. You definitely know the difference between premium Pinot Noir and the commercial stuff, because the commercial stuff is very almost thick and goopy and sweet. So they've added flavor or sugar. This is the real stuff. So let's just check out another Pinot so we can compare the Pinots, and I'll tell you which one I like the best at the end. This is a Gravity Pinot Noir, which I think is their middle kind of tier Pinot Noir. from Flat Rock. So we're gonna get a taste of that.
Want to give it a try?
All right, we're gonna give it a try. Someone stepped up to the plate here. I don't know.
I know, it's an empty glass.
Someone's got to do it, right?
Cheers.
All right.
So it's our Gravity Pinot Noir,
Okay.
2012.
And where does that sit in your portfolio of wines?
So it's our top Pinot Noir.
Top Pinot Noir.
Yeah,
Gravity.
absolutely.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
and how much is that a bottle for people?
$30.
That sounds
Yeah,
pretty
it's a deal.
inexpensive.
Hand-picked, hand-sorted, gravity-fed. Yeah, over-delivers. That's why it's $30.
Okay, wait, slow all that up. You just said that so quick. Hand-picked, hand-fed.
So yeah,
It's like-
hand-picked, hand-sorted, gravity-fed, all really gentle handling because it's Pinot Noir.
What does that mean, gravity-fed?
So it's if you try and move wine and everything's on flat ground, you have to use a pump, right? Every time you use a pump, you're going to strip flavor out.
Okay.
So I've got a 5-level gravity flow winery, so you bring it at the top level. When you have to move it, you attach a hose to the bottom of the tank and you can feed it down into the barrel and you can move it. So it allows us to handle the wine or the juice as gently as possible.
Okay. That's awesome. Okay, so a lot of people don't know the difference between like a premium Pinot Noir and the stuff you walk in, you know, because there's lots of wines when you walk into the LCBO or a wine store, and people always, they tell me they go for the under 20. So why would they go for the over 20, the extra $10?
You know, it's a
We
great
know why.
question. No, but it's a great question, right? In general, you know, the price is going to reflect the quality. In general, I say that very in general, because we all taste things differently. So if you love a wine and it's under $20, keep drinking that wine, right? If you find a wine that you love at $25, drink that wine, right? Wine is personal, right? In general, more expensive wines may taste better or you may like them, but that's not always the case. Understanding what the winemaker is trying to accomplish, the style that they're trying to create. There's a lot of $20 or $30 Pinot Noirs out there, but if you learn a little bit about the winery and what the winemaker is trying to create, you may find it's a bigger, fuller Pinot Noir that appeals to you. Maybe you like a lighter, more food-friendly Pinot Noir. And all those styles end up at the same, and you may love one and may not like the other, but it's more a function of style than it is better or worse.
Okay.
I hate the better or I don't like better or worse.
But there is much more work that goes into the premium products, or no, at your winery?
No, not in my winery.
No?
We do every drop of wine is treated exactly the same way.
Hand sorting.
That's unusual.
Okay.
But at Flat Rock Cellars, that's every drop of wine is
Quality
treated
is
the
key,
same way.
obviously. There.
Well, I got to wake up every morning, know we've done everything possible to make the best possible wine. That's the only way I can do it.
Check out some more red wine. Come with me. Food over here. The red bottle. That means we have red wine over here. This guy's a winemaker. No, he's a wine critic, right? Both? No, you've got. I know you from social media. I know you. I've read your articles.
I do Globe and Mail wine basics videos.
Okay, well, I've seen you on Wine Align on the videos.
That's
They
right,
go around
yeah.
the table and they taste.
I'm a reformed sommelier.
Yeah.
So your name?
It's Brad. Will. Freedom?
Will Freedom, yeah.
Freedom. Oh, there you go. See, I know something.
Nice.
Yeah, awesome. I like the video. So you think you know wine? Wine Align? He's on it. You gotta watch it. Cool video.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm glad you dig it.
Let's have a drink together later.
Yeah, great. I'll be around.
All right, well, thank you very much.
Have a good one, eh?
Cheers.
All right.
This is how we do it at Cuvee. We just walk around, you know, it's all cool. Anyone who's uptight here, go home. This is not about being uptight, it's about being cool. Remember that. Or having a good time.
How are you?
30 bench Pinot Noir.
All right.
All right, ladies, I'm gonna try your Pinot Noir. We've tasted a bunch of Pinot Noirs, so we're gonna have to compare them, you know. I know there's no competition, but on my site there is a competition, so we gotta
there
see.
you go.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So this has been 15 or 12 months in French oak, 15% new oak. So you get some nice cherry, some tea, a bit of pomegranate there on the end.
Yeah. So yeah, come closer. So 30 bench. This is one of the wineries I used to go to a long time ago before it was bought out. Right?
Okay,
And the roof was leaking. They used to have pails where the water would go in the pails. The wine was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. The house style was very dry, lots of blends, like Cab Merlot type blends. Love their, and I used to work in the Toronto area. When I drove home, I'd always stop there and get bottles. Loved it. Every Christmas, everybody would have 30 bench wines. Right? I love them, right?
Okay.
So when the whole buyout went over, I was very scared that it would change, but I know the tasting experience changed and it got a little nicer. Buildings still there, wines still very dry. I like that.
Yes.
Your winemaker,
She's right there.
and she won winemaker of the year what, a couple years ago, Tony Asper, or
2018.
or just last year.
Just last year.
Just last year.
Yeah.
Best winemaker in Ontario, according to Tony Asper's.
And we are Small Winery of the Year also.
Small Winery of the Year. The award. Awesome.
Yes.
You must come visit. But it's a great, go on the website, check out the winery. Old board and batten type look to it. Very cool. Inside though, it's very modern. If you're from Toronto and you're used to all that chic stuff, it's very chic. But you're going to get a really good tasting experience there because you have little booths or something in the back. Is that how to sort of?
We've just changed over and we're going to table service now. Our front bar is gone.
Table service?
It's all table service.
Meaning that you have to make a reservation?
No,
or what do you,
just come in, sit down. The consultants are right at your table.
and they kind of.
And so you choose a flight, we talk you through the wines.
So who drives you home afterwards?
We'll get staff to do that. don't
Okay,
worry.
all right. So you have to have a designated driver. You have table service there. Look out. Okay, awesome. Thank you, ladies, for the wine.
Okay, you're very welcome.
Thank you. We'll just get a little shot of the winemaker here, over here.
You can't.
Oh, you're on video. So we've talked about Appassimento wines drying the grapes, right, in Niagara because it's a cool climate to make more of those full body wines that, you know, people that are accustomed to California, I don't know, Australian wines, Argentina and Chile, warmer climates, you can sort of emulate that here by drying the grapes out, right? And still have a very balanced wine because we have a nice backbone of acidity. The man that put all this on the map here in Niagara is Len Crispino. I think I pronounced that correctly. He's right behind me, and it's a foreign affair winery. So it used to be ambassador of trade, I think, Canada and Italy. So that's where he came back from Italy and put this Appassimento process on the map here in Niagara. So we'll get him to say a couple words and we'll taste his wine. This will be a fun experience. So definitely don't fall asleep on this one. How are you?
Yeah, you in a while.
I know, you have to hire me and you'll see me all the time. Okay?
Yeah.
I just said
Foreign Affair Winery.
Foreign Affair. This man put Appassimento, Amarone style wines on the map in Niagara. A lot of people don't know that. Well, we've tasted some of other Appassimento wines. So maybe say a couple words to your viewers out here that...
Well, we wanted to do something that was a little different, something that was differentiated in the market. We didn't feel that coming into the market and simply doing what everybody else was doing was really contributing a lot.
You have a story behind it, right? I mean, this idea you got because you were living abroad, correct?
Well, I was representing the province of Ontario
There you go. Tell us who you were.
internationally in Italy for a number of years. My wife and I fell in love with the style of wine and thought, could we produce this style in Canada? And so after we came back, we decided to begin some experimentation that had never been done before.
Never.
With the grapes that we grow here. We don't have the same grapes, we have very different climatic conditions. So the first couple of years, we had to learn a lot of hard lessons. But eventually we got to where we wanted to be, and we started making wine that starts to compete internationally. Our role is not to compete just domestically. It's trying to compete with this notion that sometimes we as Canadians tend to undermine what we do,
Sure we
or
do.
what we say about ourselves.
We're in a box. We don't understand.
Yeah, so we thought, you know what, we want to challenge convention here. We want to try to look at how we can compete with the rest of the world. And that's what we're about, essentially.
It's absolutely worked. I must say that this style has been emulated by a lot of wineries now. And almost if you're not doing it, you're left behind, right? I mean, everyone's trying to play catch up now. Am I wrong? I mean, everybody's doing some sort of a Appassimento wine. Almost every winery. And if they're not, they're doing very low yields. But most of them are going to eventually come upon you. For instance, just released the very first a Passamento wine. So everyone's coming around to the notion. It's a great thing for cool climate wineries, right?
Well, for us, it's a total commitment. We're not about making one or two wines or experimenting with one or two
right across
wines.
your portfolio.
Everything that we do is done in that style. So it's a major commitment. We live and die by this method. This is not some kind of social experiment.
Sure.
This is for real.
That's it.
And that's what we're about. That's
committed.
What we want to do.
So you want to taste a committed wine? We're going to taste one right now. What are we pouring?
So we're pouring. This is called Dream.
Dream. I like that.
So Dream is a Bordeaux blend. Cabernet Sauvignon, Cabernet Franc, Merlot, and Petit Verdot.
Petit Verdot, I like that.
And
so there's the winemaker right there. If you want to get a little shot of that guy, good looking.
So this is Barclay Robinson.
Look at that smile. It's like $1 million smile.
So this has about 24% dried fruit.
Okay.
Dry.
24% dried fruit.
Yeah.
Petit Verdot in there. So Petit Verdot is
Petit
dried
Verdot.
too, or where do you get Petit Verdot? Does everybody make that, or you buy it from somebody?
No,
or
we everything that we sell here comes off our own vineyard.
So you have Petit Verdot.
Yeah, we're one of the few in Niagara that actually grows Petit Verdot. We have about 1.5 acres of it.
Woo! It's a great nose. It's loaded, with cigar and
Our
tobacco.
only regret is we just don't have enough of it.
Enough Petit Verdot. I love Petit Verdot. If viewers, if you don't know what Petit Verdot is, look it up, Wikipedia, right? Okay, but it's a Bordeaux varietal, right?
Absolutely.
Usually used to add backbone, color,
A little bit of floral notes as well.
floral notes.
Yeah. So you'll notice with straight Petit Verdot, you have a really dark color, firm tannin, but you also get a little bit of violet, a little bit of hibiscus notes, and just some of those floral notes that pop up, as well as a dark.
And it's always a small amount in the blend. You can always pick it out, right? Am I wrong? You can always sort of say, oh, that is the Petit
But
Verdot.
in great
right?
years, what we do, we actually make Petit Verdot on its own.
Wow.
We have a wine that is a Petit Verdot, single varietal. It's called On Assignment because we're getting it out there and saying, the wine can speak for itself.
Okay, come back here. I'm gonna steal this. This is by far the biggest wine that I've had here today. It's huge. Big wine in your mouth. Like, it's really heavy. So if you like those wines, California wines, if you don't think that they can be produced in cool climates, you have to try these wines. So and this is speaking to the Passamento, right? But it finishes super dry. Super dry. I mean, my tongue is dried right out. So
That's the Passamento, but what we place a lot of emphasis on the quality of the grapes that come in. If the grapes are not in perfect condition,
meaning like hand sorting, is that what you're getting
we do
at?
a lot of hand sorting. If anything is bruised or damaged, we don't use the grapes for that because they'll never dry properly. Whatever we use is absolutely superlative in terms of quality. And that's the only way you're going to make great wine.
Okay.
This guy can do a lot in terms of enhancing the wine.
Let's get a little on you, Mark. Okay. So where were you? You were at Taw's to begin with, which is a premium winery, and then you went to
Ridge Point.
I love Ridge Point.
So then Len and I met, and
Len's got lots of money. Look at
I wish.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Tell me about it.
Okay, this is by far the best full-bodied red wine I've tasted here.
Thank you.
I probably don't have to taste anymore because this is it.
Well, no, you should taste the others so you can compare.
Thank you very much.
Take care. Thanks for dropping by.
Yes, we're at Stratus. If you don't know what Stratus is, look it up. Premium winery in Niagara. JL Gru? We'll get him to pronounce his own name. So this is like I said, premium winery, small yields. They don't do too many wines, mostly single varietal. They had Paul Hobbs actually as a consultant come down and help them. So Paul Hobbs, famous winemaker consultant from California, lots of wines in Argentina. So let's try these wines and we'll see what they're pouring, what's going on here.
And you have to do another shot.
Your name, sir?
Well, I am JL Gru, winemaker for Stratus.
JL Gru, that's how you pronounce it.
Gru.
Gru.
Depending where you're from.
Okay.
You can say Gru or Gru, but Gru is good.
Gru, okay. I think I said Gro, so Gru.
Oh, no.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what can I help you with?
All right.
Yummy, maybe.
Oh, so tonight we're looking for the best full-bodied red and the best light-bodied red. So this will be the light-bodied bodied spectrum of wines,
you
right?
could say it's a base light-bodied red. You nail it right there.
Okay.
Sorry. But we make Gamay, a bit seriously, because we like to low yield. We pick it when it's shriveled, so it's pretty concentrated Gamay. In fact, we spend more money making our Gamay than Cab Sauvignon.
More time and money spent on Gamay than Cab. Remember that, people? Because a lot of people don't drink Gamay. Why don't they drink Gamay? Why is that?
Just because they have to get back used to it.
You have to get used to it.
In the early 90s, people were drinking Gamay because they were switching from white to red.
Okay.
And then they moved
White
into
to red.
Cabernet and they thought, oh, forget Gamay. So now back, 15 years later, we are back into Gamay. There's a lot of wineries now in Niagara that are starting to make Gamay more seriously.
Does that speak to our climate, or does that speak to everything, pop
That
culture?
speaks to the climate, but that speaks to the fact that Gamay is a well-adapted variety for Niagara.
Okay.
So it was a bit forgotten for a while because people moved on, but at the end it's nice we got back to it.
I drink a lot of Gamay from France, Cru Beaujolais,
Right.
from Morgon.
Yeah, that's great. But we're not trying to imitate that.
Not trying to
We're
imitate.
trying to make great Gamay in Niagara.
But I love how you get those red rose, violet,
Oh, it's beautiful.
little earthy notes, some red beets.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
you do. But for us, we're not trying to imitate any other region of the world.
don't try and copy.
We're not
the original.
You got that right. We make great Gamay here. We enjoy them. It's not going to be a copy of Beaujolais. It's not Beaujolais here. It's Niagara. So it's Niagara Gamay. That's right.
Okay. Almost specialty though, almost like Syrah, right? So Syrah, Gamay.
The good part with Gamay, it's an earlier variety. It goes well through winters, so it's well adapted to the region. Where Syrah, it's a bit more difficult.
So this is it right here. This is the Gamay.
This is the Gamay.
Because it smells very warm. This one. It smells
It's
almost.
interesting because starting with a cool year. But by being patient, by waiting, you are going to make it right.
And that's
because it's an early variety, even in cool year, you can push it where it's supposed to be. So that's the interesting.
So when
part.
did you pick this? And because you said you waited till they were slightly dehydrated.
That's right.
Okay.
So I picked that November 3rd.
November 3rd.
Which is interesting for a Gamay.
Sure.
Not many people pick their Gamay in September.
Right.
And
Okay.
that tell you how much we want to put into Gamay, because by waiting that long, suddenly we lose volume, but we have a better concentrated fruit.
I love that you're doing it. It's very cool. First off, I love Gamay. I played like I didn't understand Gamay. I love Gamay, but most people don't know Gamay. Everyone's hell bent on Cabernet, right? Okay.
That's right.
So it's very cool that you're putting all
Just
this time
consider
and
that the
effort.
grapes of the future.
Okay.
Just, as you say, nobody talk much about it now, but slowly you hear more and more about it. You find more and more serious Gamay. So there is some future into Gamay. And we do a lot of Cab Franc here at Stratus.
That is so
Stratus
smooth.
is very focused into making Cab Franc and
Sure.
Assemblage, Big Bordeaux. But we love making our Gamay, and our consumers, they love buying it too.
This is so smooth.
It is supposed to be.
But finishes with a really nice sandpaper, like almost like dry on it. Not harsh, and there's no harshness at all in this one.
No, exactly. That's the beauty of Gamay, and I think that's part of what our consumer like. Because not everybody enjoy big tannins, and our consumers are ready to pay $29 for a bottle of Gamay happily because they really enjoy the wine.
What would you say this Gamay tastes like? This particular vintage. I mean, I think I know what I'm picking up, but
No, I'm sure you do, but for me, in the nose, it has quite a bit of red fruit, a lot of strawberry, raspberry, leathery character, a bit of cedar, and then the mouth.
There's a bit of cedar in there.
Yes, that's right.
So for cab drinkers that think that Gamay is like, everyone's had Gamay, almost in the 80s,
Right.
or maybe you haven't, but most people know Gamay is light, fruity, kind of acidic.
Right.
Well, this is, it's got
Gamay is
secondary
not,
notes.
It's smooth.
Yeah.
Difference of Gamay with many other varieties, it's a smooth, it's a round wine.
This
And
is
it has
so
booming,
nice, yeah.
booming aromatics. It's not the same aromatic you have in Cabernet or Pinot Noir, but it has its own home, it has its own typicity in Niagara Gamay. It's not Beaujolais, it's not Beaujolais Nouveau by any stretch of imagination, but it's not.
Which is light and fruity. Beaujolais.
But it is still have, all over the world, wherever you grow Gamay, you're going to have that roundness, that smoothness.
And you've
that's
obviously
typical
oak
of Gamay.
aged this, right? That's where you get the cedar.
Only old French oak barrels, nothing new.
Yeah.
Only old French oak, just to give them a support, to get them smoother.
So what would you say to Cabernet drinkers that like my father, who What would you say to a person like that to try and
Keep
change?
enjoying your Cabernet, there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
But you know, try a bottle of Gamay once in a while, especially if you want to eat something which is double charcuterie or something which is, charcuterie, this is great with Gamay. You know, if you have red meat, don't go for Gamay. So change your wine according to what you eat.
Okay, I really like this Gamay. So how much is this a bottle if someone was going to walk into your store or to the LCBO? Is it at the LCBO?
It's not at the LCBO
Okay,
currently, so it's at our store or online. You can buy it online anytime. It's $29 a bottle.
$30 a bottle. So that's
30. No, you can't do that. 30.
29. Stratus. You have to try Gamay, okay? Because light-bodied wines, everybody goes to Pinot Noir, probably the movie Sideways, but you have to try Gamay. I'm telling you, you probably like it better. And as I'm sitting right now, this actually beat out every Pinot Noir that I tried over there. And you might be like, weird, but no, that's it. It beats them out. Believe me. So Gamay, put it on your radar, people. Let's try some more wine.
Seawater is really the only thing that we share. We actually have a different winemaker with an Australian, so it's a little bit of a different style, more New World. But we do share the same methods of farming, so we are certified organic and biodynamic as well.
Biodynamic and organic. A lot of people don't know what that means, and we don't have to go into that. But basically, in a nutshell, it means that you're not spraying any herbicides, insecticides, or fungicides. Right?
Exactly. Yep. Staying sustainable. So you can picture our winery and vineyards in its own little bubble, and whatever is in that bubble, that is all we have.
Okay. So it's all state fruit? Is that what you're saying? Or?
We do have a state fruit, but we also own a second vineyard called Limestone Ridge. Our whites are grown up there on the bench. We like the minerality that comes from that kind of soil type.
Okay.
So we do have that vineyard. It's certified organic and biodynamic as well. So this is our not quite released yet 2012 Syrah.
2012. If everybody noticed a common theme here, most people are pouring 2012s. And can you speak to that? Like, why is 2012 so good?
Everybody, when they come to Cuvee, they really aim to bring their best products, best foot forward. And 2012 was such a great year, being so warm, winter was delayed. We were able to get optimal ripening time for the reds, and so you're able to get the full body capacity of those reds. So it's not something we get commonly for Ontario. So.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is very smooth. Another thing is, a lot of these premium wines I'm tasting tonight, they start off very smooth, and they finish very dry.
Yep.
That's a very common denominator here tonight. And so is that what makes a focused premium wine? A dry finish and a smooth start? Is that kind of...
Not necessarily, but in some ways, yes. That dryness is more than likely from the tannin, and being a big year and having that little bit of age, these wines definitely need more time in their cellars to really build to their fullest potential.
So people that like dry wines will like premium wines, no doubt. But if you age them, that dryness goes away, right? Okay, so where is this available and how much is it?
The 2012 Syrah is only available in our estate winery, which is in Beamsville. And this fruit comes from a 4-acre plot that we have on site with our winery.
I've had your 2011.
Yep.
I really liked it. I think I like this better. Maybe it's a little more full.
Yep.
Okay.
For the Cuvée en route, we're actually doing a flight of the 10, 11, and 12. So it'd be kind of fun if you can check us out this weekend.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, she's not really telling the whole story. The winery is beautiful, okay? So let's talk a little bit about the winery. It's absolutely gorgeous, state-of-the-art winery, brand new. There's a restaurant there.
Yep, absolutely.
I heard there's even like a little tasting device where you can sort of...
Yep, we work with enomatic machines, so they actually use argon gas.
Argon gas? What is that for people?
Argon gas, it's an element that doesn't react to wine, so it actually acts as a preservative. So once you take the oxygen out of a bottle and you let argon gas sit and sink and layer on top of it, it actually will preserve it for upwards to 30 days in these machines.
So it's a fun-ass vending machine for wine that keeps wine fresh every time you press that little button, okay? So you have to have a designated driver when you go there, but it would be a lot of fun, right? You guys And so people can just do that on their own will, or how does that work?
The enomatic machine is really only used with groups, and we're the only ones that operate them, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. So not as much fun, okay, but they can operate them for you. Fresh wine. Is it by the glass then, or is it tasting? Or?
You can do the by the glass through the enomatic machines with our Burgundy labels in the restaurant, but the tasting bar just does tastings.
The restaurant's beautiful, and it's very cool to visit in the summer, obviously.
Yep, big patio.
Bands and that kind of
We've got some great plans this summer. The permit went through for the amphitheater we wanted, so that's coming up in the spring, so we're going to get some concerts going this summer.
Okay, so there you go. So Redstone, here we go. If you've been to Taz, you get it, right? If you haven't been to Taz, forget it, go to Redstone. and then go to Taz. I don't know, go to both, but I'd rather go to Redstone because it's new. There's cool people like this working there. You're gonna have a good time. So which Syrah would you like better? The Creekside or the Redstone? Creekside. Okay, this is such a niche product. So I'm going back my word here, but light-bodied wine, Gamay. Full-bodied wine would be the dream, okay, from a foreign affair. Specialty wine, there's actually nothing here that competes with the Creekside Syrah. It's the best wine I've tasted all night, hands down. So yeah, full-bodied would be the foreign affair, but full-bodied doesn't mean it's the best. It just means it's weightier, it's a bigger wine. What is the very best red wine here? Creekside Syrah Raw Power. Incredible wine. Mixed, he's got a little mix of co-fermented Viognier in there. So cool, so unique. Okay, we're doing it backwards. We tasted reds. Let's taste some whites, and let's get on with it.
I'm Paul Harbor of Ravine Vineyard Estate Winery, just down in St. David's. Been going since 08. Just pouring a little Chardonnay tonight at Cuvee 2016. We're a restaurant that we bake our own bread, we grow our own vegetables, we raise our own pigs. We have a couple programs on site that we're starting, especially with our canning. Back in 1898, two of my great uncles started the canning factory in St. David's. It was Lowry Bros. And this year we're making a heavy push to relaunch that canning label, using Niagara fruits and vegetables to populate cans again and to be putting up veg. So it'll be good.
It is completely barrel fermented.
So we have 30% of that point tonight is our 2014 Estate Chardonnay. So barrel fermented and then aged in oak, 30% new French for about 9 months. The 13 that won the Lieutenant Governor's Award last year, so it sold out pretty quick, hence why we're already on 14. Yeah, one of my favorites.
Yeah, awesome. And that was from your new winemaker?
Yeah, Marty Warner. Yeah, unfortunately he's not here tonight or whatever, but yeah, always killing it on our end with him and Ben are a great tag team duo in the wine cellar.
I'm not sure if we got this on film. It's too bad because this is the most buttery oaky, but slightly oaky, not overwhelming oak, mostly buttery Chardonnay. So it's mellow-lactic, you know, probably French oak. We don't have the winemaker, so we don't know, but this is the best so far. Coyotes Run. It's a rare vintage Chardonnay 2014, so very new, just rolling right off the press. 2014 Chardonnay, very nice. So I'm going to return this wine back to them, and we're going to continue tasting. But so far, the best white so far. Follow me, as long as we're recording.
Yeah,
what are we pouring here?
this is our 2014 Viognier.
Viognier, okay. So a lot of people don't know what Viognier is. Maybe explain what Viognier is. It's a Rhone grape varietal.
It is a Northern Rhone, typically,
Okay.
and it is that particular one. It's done in stainless steel. It's 100% Viognier, and it's full fermented as well. It is aged a little bit on yeast as well to give it a little bit more mouthfeel. But really nice and fruity on the nose.
Nobody knows what that means. Aged on the lees. What does that mean for
So
people?
just on the yeast, the spent yeast cells.
So it's a
Yeah, so
French
just-
technique that makes it a little more smooth.
Yeah, it sort of enriches the mouthfeel a little bit and makes it a little rounder. So yeah, it gives it a different flavor profile than what you might get from, like, say, aging in oak versus stainless steel.
Okay, so French, usually Burgundian technique. They did it with this wine to make it very smooth. It is very smooth, but it's got a dry finish. Yeah, but it's flowery almost, right?
Yeah, on the nose.
What do you guys think? I mean, when you smell that, what's the first thing that?
Well,
Me, tangerine.
it's tangerine.
Yeah, it is tangerine, right?
It's like I just peeled a mandarin or a tangerine in my kitchen. Big
Yeah,
bouquet.
totally. Yeah, so right when you first take off the skin of the tangerine, that's what it smells like. I agree with that. Yeah, it's awesome. Fielding, I love Fielding, okay? I'm a little bit biased. I love Fielding. This is Heidi Fielding. Hey, you're good looking, just not as good looking as Heidi. So sorry. We're trying to get Heidi on. She's a TV star.
How are you?
How are you?
Nice to see you. How are things?
Oh my God, I got a kiss. You see that? Isn't it beautiful? How do you feel?
2014 Viognier. So this is, we do about a 200 case production only.
Who has Viognier?
So this is from one of our growers in Vineland.
Vineland?
Yeah. We used to have it at the bench, but it wasn't doing great, so now we've contracted out from a great producer in Vineland.
Okay, this is Cuvee. This is for wine nerds, right? So when people see that wine, most people, and probably 98%, maybe there's 2%, know what Viognier is.
Viognier has like the richness of an oak shard, the weight of an oak shard, but it's aromatic, it's not oaked, it's higher in alcohol, it's bigger richness on the palate, it's a big white wine, it's great.
Why don't you oak it? For people that like Chardonnay.
It doesn't need it, it's so rich and aromatic on its own. It's heavy, but you know what it's like? It's all that oiliness on your palate and the stone fruit that comes out on the nose. It doesn't need oaking.
Okay, did you hear that, wine nerds? Oiliness and stone fruit. I like that. So what's stone fruit? What does that mean?
Peaches, apricot, those kind of varietals. It's just like very heavily like aromatic.
It's incredible. Right?
I know, I love it. Yeah. It's like to sit by the fire.
You get a shower. You get a shower in Viognier. Take a Viognier shower. You'd smell like it. It smells great.
It does. Yeah. And it's a big wine. It's a food wine too.
So what made you guys? It's so smooth, actually.
Oh.
A lot of the wines I've been tasting are very dry. This is very smooth. I love it.
It's a dry wine. It's under 0.5 residual sugar, so it's really nice.
Why would you produce a Viognier when nobody knows what it is? It's probably not a big marketing
Actually,
seller.
it has a big following. For the people that do know about it, they're coming in, they want to know it, they know what it tastes like, they know the flavor profile, and they're hugely interested.
Yeah, so it's a cult
I love
following.
it. It is a cult.
Yeah, well, I really like it.
Thanks, I love it too.
Yeah. Thank you very much.